And gently, whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes and look at your palms. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let us take the opportunity to thank all the energies, universe, and the masters who are helping us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you hear my voice? Can anyone confirm here?
Yes. Yeah, we hear you.
Can you? Okay. I cannot hear you for some reason.
You cannot hear me?
No, I cannot.
We hear him.
Oh, my volume is low. Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you. So today we are not going to have Madhav Rao sir because he's got some award ceremony this week. So he's actually out. So we'll probably have next 2 weeks we are busy, right? We'll have Premnath sir and Maheshwari madam next week. And the following week we've got GK sir in Virginia. So probably the week of August 23rd is when we'll get the Madhav Rao sir to come back and talk about Seth wisdom. And then maybe the subsequent one. So with that, let's get started on today's beautiful topic. Today's beautiful topic is illusions. The illusions that hinder the truth, right? This is by far the most important topic that we all have to understand in our lives. What are the illusions and what does it mean? And how does they block my progress into truth? The truth that leads you to realization, the truth that takes you into the freedom, the truth that gives you liberation, the truth that takes the journey of enlightenment, and the truth that gives you peace, happiness, griefless state, whatever may be those 5, 6 things that we are looking for life. What is my achievement on Mother Earth? How do I transcend from Mother Earth and go to the higher realms, dimensions, densities, ascension, whatever. We have got multiple different names for the same thing. So whatever we are trying to look for, these are the illusions that are blocking. In everyone who is not enlightened or liberated or realized, out of these 5, there will be at least one that will be a block. So today we will talk about these 5 blocks, right? Now, these blocks, a lot of masters who have spoken about these illusions, the illusions that keep you away from your own truth, that block you from knowing your purpose, that tend to divert you from your focus of I am consciousness, and then they try to pull you down into your material life, giving you the illusion that material life is the real life. That is the purpose that you are here for. And a lot of the grand masters have spoken about it. We've got, in the recent times, if you look at it, Bhagavan spoke about it. We've got Patriji who spoke about these truths as well. In the recent, even today, like Deepak Chopra, who is a well-known spiritual scientist. He's a spiritual scientist, actually. So he actually spoke about some of these things as well. And then you will find it like various different masters who have spoken about these things in various different times, in different subjects, in different ways. Now, we all understand about truth, why we have to get to the truth and what is the purpose of truth and why I'm here and all that. Theoretically, every one of us know the purpose. But when I try to bring this into my own version of it, when I create my own experience to this, that is where we are falling short. Each of us have got our own notion as to how you implement it within our lives. First, let's talk about these 5 illusions. The first and foremost is the predictability, the illusion of predictability. We'll talk about each of them separately as how it hinders the progress of truth. But let's list out all 5 of them. Next one is the control. I want control. Predictability, you are predicting your future based upon certain facts, which you probably take into notion at the time of decision making, right? So that is what is that predictability. Then you have control. You wanted to control the situation instead of living the life the way it is. We tend to control it based upon our past and future relations or events or incidents or whatever that may be, right? Then comes time, which binds us from past to future. Time is the most known illusion that is out there. What happened in the past, what's happening in the present, and what is going to happen in the future. We tend to connect the dots and live the life accordingly. That is the biggest illusion. Fourth one is identity. Locking our ego in the form of separatedness. That is one other illusion that we live on. And finally, matter, the physicality of life. Why does matter is such a big deal? The only reason matter becomes such a big deal is because we think we are limited to the material body. We are limited to the material look and feel. The aroma or the environment that you create in the material world, in the physical level, we think we are limited to that. We don't see us beyond the physicality. So that's the reason matter is the most known illusion. Now let's talk about the first one, the illusion of predictability, right? So what do I believe? I believe that illusion, my life is predictable and can be fully known, or I am able to forecast my life depending upon certain facts that I am looking at today, right? I plan things around for next 5 years. I look at things forecasted, like this is how my life should be. This is what I need, But what does the truth talk about predictability? What is the reality, right? Life is predictable. In my view, today, the belief is life is predictable and I can fully know about it and I can forecast. But what is the truth? What is the reality? The reality is existence has always been dynamic and spontaneous. And it is beyond the intellectual grasp of an individual. If I understand this one thing, then the shackles of illusions are gone from our lives. Right? Now, why would anybody look at it this way? Right? Is when I try to cling on to this predictability, you resist the flow of life as it comes to you. Seeking different norms, seeking different kind of systemic security, that you wanted to have this, you wanted to have that. You are conditioning your life to certain aspects as to how you want to lead your life. Instead of looking your life at a 360, you now narrowed it down to either 180 or 90. Because you have a viewpoint on that particular 90 or 180, and you are stuck on that. And you look for fixated outcomes. What happens is, you and I probably think that, okay, tomorrow I'm going to go here, or if I go to Delaware to do this satsang, I join them, then here's my ABCD that needs to happen, right? So I'm already planning things ahead of time, and then I'm going to go execute in the same plan, making sure that everything is fixated based upon it. But is that how it works? Certainly not. What is the truth? Why this is a hindrance to truth? Because the flow of energy, the flow of life is spontaneous. It is instantaneous. It is dynamic. You have to let things happen. Tomorrow you go there, whatever may come, whatever may happen, you just have to receive it. I am not receiving it today because I have predicted myself that tomorrow when I go there, here are the 4 things that needs to happen. Now the question is, he's planning a wrong thing. It has nothing to do with planning a wrong thing. But when you are executing that plan, if things get altered, if things get shifted, you should be ready to accept it, because prediction can only be true if you have it as a truth. What is that one truth that you have to accept in prediction? Prediction is accepting the fact that what you planned may alter depending upon the circumstances, depending upon what has come to you in our life. Why is that? Because truth is alive only in the present moment. And it is unpredictable and ever-changing. Depending upon how things unfold in that very present moment, your truth is unpredictable. You cannot predict it. Whatever the event is happening in the moment, you get carried away or you get a different shift that might happen, and it changes. Whatever you planned for may not happen. At that very moment, if you are in the path of truth, if you are a truth seeker, you should just accept it. Otherwise, you are in the illusion of predictability. Why is this an illusion? Because it is the mind that is playing the trick. The mind is obsessed with future certainties and fails to rest in the timeless awareness. The awareness that I am, right? I'm losing that because of this predictability illusion, and I'm not able to observe that. When I am in that present moment, accepting whatever is coming my way, I'm actually observing. It's like simply you are observing as it unfolds to you in that very moment. There is no reaction. There is absolutely no attachment. There are no expectations. And obviously, you are certainly aware of that very situation. That's why truth is beyond predictability. Never try to cling on to the truth with a prediction. It doesn't work. Right? So then how do I live my life? The way to live any life, who is especially the truth seekers, his life is not meant to be predicted, but it is meant to be experienced fully. Without any prediction, you are supposed to experience your life fully. Why is that? Because when you are predicting, you are only stuck with the known. You are not allowing the realm or the energies of unknown flow in your life. What is life? Life is both known plus unknown energies. There are things that are in your, whether it is intelligence, whether it is mind, whatever you say that, or your thoughts, the way it's there, or your karmic balances, there is a known factor to that. And there is an unknown factor, what is yet to come on your way. The combination of both is life. So when I start to predict things, I am only on the known side of it. I'm in the comfort side. I'm in the box. I'm not outside the box. So what happens? You are only looking at it from one particular angle, right? Awareness, on the contrary, embraces the unknown. Always remember this. Why we say awareness is the way of living, awareness is the way. If you are aware, then you embrace the unknown, which is where the true freedom lies for all of us. When you embrace the unknown, that is where the true freedom lies. Let's take an example, right? What can be a best example? You probably are a businessman, right? Who's investing in a fixed profits, predictability. You are putting in Tesla stocks today, X number of dollars. You want that X number of dollars in X number of months to become X plus 10. Like, let's suppose you put $100, you wanted $1,000 by end of the year. Okay. Suddenly the market collapses. You seem to think that life is unfair, market is broken, you kind of tend to take mind into into action, and then you talk about all those negative things that are not meant to happen, right? But then they have happened in reality. You were expecting, you're predicting the market will go, the $100 will become $1,000. Suddenly your $100 become $50. Now what you're saying is the life is totally unfair. If in this situation, that particular businessman start to see the truth, then he realizes that life is unfolding as per the universal laws. What is meant to happen will happen no matter what. Sometimes beyond your known foresight, which is the unknown aspect of it. Now, suddenly, as a truth seeker, if it becomes $50, you start to accept that unknown that came your way, even though you have predicted it and you have worked towards it. That is the reason it becomes such an illusion when you predict things for future. Any truth seeker, any grandmaster, go back and look at your notes or read some of the grandmasters' books. You will start to understand that illusion, predictability is a great illusion. It will hinder the truth, the path of truth. Right? Now, what's the next one? Next one is control, illusion of control. Predictability is where you are trying to predict things, what meant to come your way, how your future should be. In control, you are saying that I am the doer and I am the controller of my life's events. Again, my belief is so strongly rooted that no matter who says what, I will always say I am the one doing it. I have full control of my life's events. But in fact, if you really look closely, we all know the next moment you don't have any control. The next is very second, what is meant to happen, you do not have any control. Forget about the life controls, forget about events, forget about major, shifts that are happening in your life, you have control. It is an illusion. The reality is events arise through the universal intelligence. The cosmic, we all know about cosmic consciousness, right? The cosmic consciousness shifts. What happened other day? It got shifted. We've got tsunami in Russia. There's only so much you can do at that point. So it is not the personal will that can have the control on a particular thing. But what happens is, in my illusion, because I'm in that frame of illusion, I believe that I can control my life. I try to bring everything that is good in my life. I don't accept anything bad in my life. That is the root of all problems. I only see problem and I don't want any problem in my life. Why is that a problem? Because you are such an ignorant. When we are ignorant, we tend to only see the bright side. But life is meant to be on both sides. There is a brighter side, there is a lighter side. Lighter side, you may go through the pain. On the brighter side, you may have a happiness. Who is the one that is trying to control? Ego is the one who is trying to control. It is creating that stress and suffering. When my life does not align to my personal expectations, what happens? I get stress, I get suffering. So what is control doing? I gotta be here, I control this, I run this, I own this, I manage this, right? The false doership veils the truth of being. That's the most important thing, right? it's like the flow of energy is like a river that is continuously flowing. Like it's a wind is blowing, instead of you trying to control which way the wind needs to blow, which way the water needs to flow. That is not control. You are trying to control the flow of the water, you're trying to control the flow of the wind. You can only do so much. What is the best way to live is let go of that control and let it happen. Truth is beyond control. Remember this, truth is beyond control. By surrendering your control, you discover that we are the witness and the source from where all actions are arising. And we are, and I, that ego, is a very limited controller. Today, I gave that limited controller a huge space in my life. Everything that we do, we tend to control it. We tend to bring it into our grasp, into our hands. I need to know. I want to be able to predict it. I want to be able to control it. And hence, stress and suffering. Everything in our life is stress or suffering every given moment. Why is that coming to me? Is because we have lost the touch of the truth. What's the beautiful example for this, right? I mean, it's like a parent trying to control every choice of their child. We see that all the time. When your child chooses something different, it leads to conflict, stress, or suffering. Right? What is the true wisdom talks about? True wisdom talks about guiding without attachment. You are guiding the kids without any attachment, giving them or helping them to understand what are the pros and cons of each doing or each choice that they're making. That is all you have control. That is the truth. That wisdom of truth you need to have. That's why spiritual parenting is so important. Because if you want to understand the life as it expresses in its own intelligent way, you have to bring that into your action. When we try to do that, right, instead of you commanding or controlling every choice the kids are making, now you are working with the kids to help them navigate what choice they can do better, giving your guidance, helping them to understand or give them that big picture. That is truth. That is the wisdom of truth. So control will never work, or it will hinder the progress of truth. The third one, which is the most important one, is the illusion of time. This is by far the most important one, right? What is my belief? I exist in the past, I exist in the present, and I exist in the future. Right? This is the belief. We all believe that. There is no question, there is no confusion, there is absolutely no two ways to about it. But what is truth? Truth is a mental time. What is the truth? The truth on time is a mental construct. Truth is a timelessness. Truth is timeless. Truth has no time. It is beyond the mind. When it is beyond the mind, it is not just the time, even the space. It's beyond time and space. In scriptures, we call it akalika. Sachena akalika. Akalika means it's beyond the kala. Kala means time. It's beyond the time. Everything in our lives, either there is a past, there is a present, there is a future. We are trying to connect all these three things, and all these three things are connected and are happening at a layer called mind. And you are not that mind, you are beyond mind. That is truth. Why is that time is an illusion? For two reasons, it is illusion. When you identify yourself with time, it creates fear. Your past will bring you regrets. Your future will create anxieties. And it will for sure prevent you from seeing the eternal now, the truth. In the present moment, the bliss in the present moment you will miss. Now we tend to change this, right? Because my mind is always in the linear, it connects to the linear time, right? But then if you look at consciousness is ever present. It is untouched by either birth or death. There's a beautiful saying, right? In the scriptures, at least when you look at all the acharyas, right, they talk about, Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, and Madhvacharya, and all the trio acharyas who actually are the authenticated, gurus of scriptures. When you see them, at least they talk about, okay, you are born, now you're dying, and all that, right? But when you look at the philosophy of Bhagavan, Ramana Maharshi, he says that if you think that you are dying, then that's it. You are not born. What he says is you are not born. If you think that you are born, then you will die. But the truth is you are not born. There is no death. There is no birth. There is no death, because you are consciousness. Truth is beyond. The consciousness is beyond time. Truth is beyond time. It is untouched by the birth nor death. That is truth. When I try to bring time in my life, everything I relate, past, present, future, everything, whatever I'm doing is always related to this time, then you are stuck at the mental level. It's a mental construct. Without you getting out of this illusion of time, you won't be able to live in that eternal now, happiness. So how do I get this? When we say truth is beyond time, how do I experience this? Meditation reveals the timeless self. That's why meditation is such an important thing in our lives. When you sit in meditation, sometimes you lose the control of time. You don't even remember how long the meditation happened. It just happens, that's it. After 3 hours, you get up and say, oh, man, 3 hours left. When you sleep in the deepest state, you don't have any flow of time or any touch of time, because you are in that state of self. The beautiful example for this is when you are aging, right? That's why birthdays, they call birthdays is not something that you need to be remembering year after year, because birthdays is celebrated for the body. As you keep aging, you're mentally tuning yourself. You're programming your mind that I am getting closer to death. I am getting closer to death. That's why in the ancient days there is no birthday celebrations and all that. They just used to do some kind of ritualistic activity and let it go. That's it. There is no cake cutting. There is no remembrance. People coming and saying, "What is your age? Oh, you are 50, you're 40, you're 60." All that drama is not there. There is no emotional attachment to it, because what happens is when you keep hearing about your own age repeatedly, again and again, people coming to you and celebrating, what happens is your mental construct, you start to believe that I'm getting closer to death. And you tend to lose so much of your real power. Because when you say I'm 60, you will start to look at yourself differently. Oh, I am old, right? That's why through meditation, when you start to experience the true self that is never born or never dies, right? That's when you experience the real nature of truth, the consciousness. Just one example. So illusion of time is another important aspect that binds us from going, into the, looking at the truth as truth. The fourth one, which is, we all know, the identity, illusion of identity. I am the body, I am the mind, name, role, your story, your life, your connections, your relations, everything that you identify yourself with, everything will go in time. The true identity of every one of us is pure awareness, not ego self. But we put the truth aside, the reality aside. I believe that I am this body, my mind, my name, my role, my story, my form, right? My orientation, whatever those things that you are identifying with, that is your belief. That has nothing to do with the truth. That's why identity is an illusion. What is your true identity? Pure awareness. So how does this hinder the truth? That's a beautiful question, right? Attachment to the personalities, the roles, the social labels that we are creating as false I masks us, right? And creates that form, create that boundary for us, that you are not beyond this. That personality, what you created, right? You are only in this box. That's it. That illusion, right, is a constant threat leading to our own suffering, isn't it? Every one of us go through that suffering. When your personality is challenged, when your role is challenged, when your social label is challenged, when your name, when your identity is challenged, right? When your ground is shaking, you don't see where to go, what to do. You are in panic mode. So truth is beyond identity. How do I know it? When you start to understand who is the one that is identifying and what is that I am identifying myself with. Who am I? Self-inquiry. We will start to quickly understand that we are witnessing the body and mind, not limited persona. And I cannot comprehend that at this time. Absolutely fine. But that's the truth. The beauty of truth is it is beyond mind. Whatever you are trying to understand through your limited mind, you will never get the truth. That's why truth can only be experienced. It cannot be understood. If you're understanding at your mind level, that is not truth. How does I relate this, right? I mean, how do you identities, like, it's like a movie actors, right? An actor playing a role as a king in a movie or on a stage, and forgets, right, his identity, and he just acts. That's it, right? And if, for example, on the stage in the movie he's acting as a king, and then he comes out of that movie and then he behaves like king, right? What do you look at it? Such a silly thing. But the fact is that is exactly how we are behaving. You are here to act your roles in the stage of life. But we are so engrossed in the depth of this identity that we live that as if this is the true thing that is happening. I am the parent, I am the kid, I am so and so, I own this, I drive this, I have a social responsibility, I am committed to this, I am committed to that, everything. I am a CIO, managing this, But what we are truly, or we are the divine essence, we forget that. Our true identity is your awareness, consciousness. That can only be experienced. Only when you experience it, you bring that into life. That's the next beautiful thing. That's why All these are illusions. We have to start to work on each of them. Some may have one, some may have two, some may have three. It depends who is stuck at what levels in their own practices. But nevertheless, all these will have to go away. Otherwise, you will never experience truth as it is. The bliss of truth, the happiness, the real peace will never come our way. And finally, the illusion of matter. Why is this a problem? Earlier we talked about physicality being a problem. My belief today, I believe matter is a solid, separate, and an ultimate reality. The way I look at matter is this physical world is a reality. That's it. I do not see anything beyond. The unknown, I will never consider that as known. For me, unknown is deleted. My vision is only known. So 50% I've already discounted my life. But what you are seeing, you're holding a pen, I'm watching, this thing, I'm holding a body, whatever we are seeing it, what is the truth beyond that? What is the reality? Matter is energy consciousness vibrating at multiple different frequencies. That's the truth. The truth is whatever you are seeing in the physical world is energy vibrating at a certain frequency. It is nothing but energy. If you go beyond the physicality, we'll start to realize it very quickly. So what happens is when I try to associate myself to the physical world, I only live in the physical parameters, physical dimensions or physical boundaries. I cannot see anything beyond the fact. And hence, my inner journey will never succeed. Where is the existence happening? Right? If I start asking this question, is the existence physical or where is the existence happening? When you see only the physical form, we all miss that subtle unity of existence. That subtle unity of existence is inside us. Right? The illusion that we create ourselves, that the material, binds us, the world of appearances, and creating attachment and setting expectations, the fear, the loss, everything that I am creating myself, this illusion of the box that I'm creating, and I'm identifying everything to whatever I need to identify with the physical reality. What is happening with that is I have lost the touch of my own happiness, my own peace. We all know, maybe 100 years back, the quantum mechanics was not there, right? Quantum physics is not there, right? At a quantum level or a spiritual level, matter dissolves into the field of consciousness. We all know it. Everything is interconnected and impermanent. Nothing is permanent. We all know this. Truth is beyond matter. What appears will disappear. What comes will go. What opens will close. It has to happen. That's the law of polarity. Nothing can change that. So when I start to look at my life, right, I'm trying to bring certain aspects in my life, for example, wealth, possessions, believing that this is worth so and so, right? And then when suddenly something happens, a natural disaster happens, like Russia, whatever happened now, right? All is lost. All you have is suffering follows. That's it. So if I don't start to, if I see the truth, right, I have to realize that it's a consciousness, cannot be destroyed, right? But what I am into right now with the illusion of my matter, I think I'm broke. I will start to quickly, take matter and identify myself with that matter and try to have the predictability of life with certain control in a way that I want to lead it with a time as the greatest illusion. So what happens? All five will come and play. But in reality, your consciousness never destroyed. So in line of truth, when you are bringing truth as a practice to yourself, if you are a real truth seeker, here we are talking about only truth. We are not talking about people who are doing, practices for mind development, practices for alternate techniques, practices to soothe my body, my intelligence, that is all again, that's again another illusion of drama. All siddhis are illusions, right? Big illusions. When the reality itself, what you're holding on to, your identity itself is illusion. Whatever your identity perceives is the greatest illusion. So what happens is, all these illusions, whether it is predictability, whether it is control, whether it is time, whether it is identity, whether it is matter, all constitute, right, from mind and ego. They are from your mind and ego. Truth is beyond these. Why is this a problem? The reason it is a problem, because these will divert our attention from the direct experience of I am consciousness. They will never allow you to go beyond your state of being. You have to go into the state of being for you to experience the truth. They actually block you from that experience. They will divert you. You are supposed to go straight. What happens? You see somebody having an astral travel. You are struck with him, and you see somebody solving something. You are taking a detour. You have taken a U-turn, or you have taken left, right. Gone. You are diverted from truth. That's it. When do you come back? Who knows? Right? So what is that I need to start to realize is, realizing the truth requires seeing through these illusions. You have to understand these illusions very well, that these are distractions in my life, and yet you should be in charge to see that, okay, through these illusions you need to pass. Then only you reach the path of truth, or the destination, or the goal, whatever you call it. Like peeling a layer. So you take an onion, you peel the onion one after other, one after other, one after other. You go to the innermost thing, which is the truth. Like in this example, like that, like the way you're peeling the onion and throwing it. These diversions that are coming in your life, you got to keep taking them out. You cannot be diverted. If you keep diverting your life, you will never come back to that source of the truth. Sat Chit Ananda. That which shines alone. How do I know? When you get into that pure awareness, you will know. Until that time, the drama unfolds. That's why practice is a must. Sadhana is a must. Without sadhana, us coming and talking to masters, us going to reading different books, you have so much of information. Each of us have downloaded so much of information from so many masters. But the experience can only come to you when you do sadhana, when you do practice. That is the truth. Nobody can give us that experience of truth. It has to be experienced within. No matter how much knowledge you acquire, no matter how many gurus we go meet, how many masters you go talk, none can give that experience to us other than your own practice. That's why practice is a must for truth seekers. Without that, we feel like we are everybody, but the truth is we are nobody. When you start to let go that identity of nobody through wisdom, you go inside into the deepest state, then you realize that you are everybody with love. That's the true purpose of meditation. I am the one meditating. I sit in meditation and I say, I am meditating. Okay, who is that I? That mind is the one meditating. You sit with the mind, you meditate. What happens? That mind has to dissolve. Then you become everything. When you become everything, then you start to realize that you are everything. And that everything is nothing but love, the divine love. And when you lose that identity, that is wisdom. That's the beauty of meditation. Right? So today, the 5 illusions, we spoke about it. There are a lot of, every master has given tons of subjective details on these things. These are very well known in the spirituality, right? Everybody knows about it, right? So you can just read about them, but try to bring them into the practice. Don't fall for these illusions. These illusions will not allow you to experience the truth as it stands. Predictability, control, time, identity, and finally, matter. All right. So with that, I'm going to open it up for any questions. At this time, any questions? No questions? Then what I would request is take one of the items like predictability and then ponder on it for some couple of months and then see how your life is shifting from uncertainty to certainty, right? Uncertainty should be equally welcomed, like the way you are welcoming certainty. If you are not doing it, then you're not balanced. If you're not balanced, then you are not on the path of truth. In the path of truth, you will experience dualities in either cases. Some days are better, some days are worst, but you should still be able to balance. That's the path of truth. All right. So, any questions?
Just one question.
Yes, sir. Please.
So, if we take that example, the first predictability aspect of it. So, we plan, let's say if we are doing some event at home or anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So we plan for it.
Mm-hmm.
We try to execute that whatever we planned as part of the event.
Correct.
Right. So that means we are actually predicting that the event is going to go in the manner we are trying to plan. Right.
Correct.
So, I mean, if we are not really, take the things as it comes. That's what we are trying to get the message.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say, does it mean we should not be planning for that, or just trying to understand plan for it, but don't expect it to go as it's supposed to?
Correct. See what it is, right? You will still plan it. Okay. Like the way you design your life, you plan your life. But when you come here, when you're executing it, things may happen differently. Where it tends to go to default or where the suffering comes is when you attach to that planning. When you think that what I planned and I'm not able to execute it, you start to see yourself as guilt or failure or certain things did not happen. You're trying to condition everything. But life is not conditioning. Life is unconditioned. It flows in that moment. So what happens so that is why wisdom is the shackle. Wisdom is the breaker. If you do not have this wisdom, then what happens? You tend to take things into your own control, and you feel that you failed. You feel like, this did not happen. Right? I'll tell you an example, right? This beautiful example by Patriji, some time back. He said, he worked so hard for Kailasapuri, right? The India Hyderabad Kailasapuri, right? Maheshwara Mahapyramid. It was the world's number one pyramid built for meditators, 6,000 capacity, and all that, right? He was asked the question, what happens tomorrow this falls? He said, I'll just walk out. That's it. He worked for it. He sweated so much to make that happen. He went through a lot of hard work and hardship. He put into time, effort, energy, everything he put in. But tomorrow something meant to happen. He said, I cannot do anything. I'm not predicting anything. I cannot predict the future. Future unfolds as it stands. So I'll just move on. Similarly, in this example that you are referring to, when you are planning things, you're planning with a good intention that, hey, you're doing it for the universal cause. I have scheduled a program. The program has to flow this way. And suddenly things happen. What happens when you have this wisdom? You are not shifting. You're not falling. You're holding on. You're letting the universe make the call, saying that, okay, I accept whatever meant to happen. So many times, even in our case, technical side, right, certain things won't work for us. We don't get disappointed. We just say, okay, it's okay. We'll move on, right? So it is that this wisdom, you need to have this wisdom. That's the wisdom is the breaker. If you do not have this wisdom, then you live in that ignorance. That's why in spirituality, ignorance is not a bliss. Ignorance is a sin. Because you tend to create more karma, because you get emotional. You get bonded, you get emotional, you get attached. And all of those are karmic things. So that's why the illusion of life, what is the illusion of life is the combination of all these five: predictability, control, time, identity, and matter. That's it. There's nothing else. Everything comes under these five.
Thank you.
Good questions. Good analogy, actually. It helps to draw the parallels. Anyone else? Any other question? All right, no questions. Then we'll call it a night. We'll see you all tomorrow, the morning session, the Telugu session in the morning, early in the morning. All right? Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye-bye. Good night. Thank you, Masters.
Thank you.